And
Go ahead.
I'll go. Welcome back. We had pizza. We're having a great time. Round number 4 for our league challenge, and we are going to be heading towards the top end of that with 2 3-0 players here. Lucy Parker and Abigail Watson. Abigail, one of the top players in this area, and Lucy,
Absolutely.
a staple who I think has finally found a team that really, really works with her playstyle.
No, for real, and you're going to see it right there. It is the Iron Bundle, Iron Jugulus, Iron Hands, Maridon, Iron Crown, and Iron Leaves, and if you're like me, the word iron sounds really weird right now. And then Abby on the right with the Whimsicott, Urchavoo Rapid, Incineroar, Ogre Cornerstone, Calyrex Shadow, and Bastiodon!
Yeah, I feel bad because we're going to gloss over the fact that this is Bastiodon with a Shadow Rider team, which isn't super common. Bastiodon was kind of mostly built around that Miraidon in the first place. I know Oscar was playing it a little bit with the Shadow Rider, I think. But, yeah, that is the 6 Future Paradox Pokemon on Lucy's side, which works better than you'd probably imagine. And again, Abby does not have a way to change the terrain or remove the terrain, so that electric terrain's going to be up, and that is a ton of extra stats.
Yeah, I think this Whimsicott's going to be doing a lot of heavy lifting here between Tailwind and Light Screen, considering a good chunk of Lucy's team is special attackers. The Iron Bundle, the Jugulus, the Maridon, the Iron Crown. Only 2 physical attackers.
Yeah, it's everything barring the hands and the leaves.
You do have Incineroar to handle both of those as well, even though you do get hit really hard by both the hands. So, curious to see what Abby brings to. I think this Whimsicott and the Calyrex for sure are required.
Mm-hmm. We're going to see that Whimsicott, as you mentioned, alongside the Ogerpon. And it's Miraidon Iron Crown on the other end.
One thing to note, this Iron Crown is voiced as a Scarf, so even after a Tailwind, it still is going to be able to get a nice boost, and the Quark Drive activating does raise the special attack, so it's both speed and special attack boosted. Ogerpon in a really tough spot here, though, I think.
Yeah, Tachyon Cutter, probably Oka.
Yeah,
for being real.
I'd be shocked if it doesn't. Same goes for Whimsicott, but you can at least set a Tailwind here.
Yeah.
Which is gonna be kind of your biggest win con with Shadow Rider in the back.
There's the Ivy Cudgel into the Miraidon. Good damage, not good enough. There's a Tachyon Cutter. It is into the Ogerpon, and it indeed will pick up the knockout.
And now the question is, what is going to happen here with this Miraidon? I assume Volt Switch is going to be the play. I'd be shocked if it's really not.
Probably Volt Switch, maybe Electro Drift.
Yeah,
it is. Yeah. Maybe Volt Switch. That did a lot more damage than I thought it was going to.
That did a chunk.
That was a pretty nice chunk of damage there. And
couple of good options here between either the Iron Bundle and the Iron. I think Bundle's kind of a good call because you got the Focus Sash.
Lucy's got the like robot goggles. So she's also one of the on her trainer thing, so she's also one of the Paradox Pokemon.
Paradox. This Calyrex is a bit concerning though, because you do have a bit of an interesting call. You have Terra Dark, which is kind of a requirement, and it's Terra Blast Terra Dark, but you have to use Tachyon Cutter. That's fine.
Yeah.
It's still gonna do a lot of the Calyrex.
Yeah.
The thing is, with an Astral Barrage, none of the 2 here are going down. It is don't forget, this Iron Bundle is Focus Sash, and it could click Icy Wind, which would help because it's a spell tag Shadow Rider, and not a Covert Hook, which means...
Frankly, that might knock out Whimsicott if it doesn't click Light Screen here. And it might need to click Light Screen here, as the thing.
I think if you're Abby, you gotta play, okay, is the Terra Dark gonna happen? Do I click Astral Barrage, or do I just go for the Draining Kiss into the slot?
Well, and even then, if you go for the Draining Kiss, I don't think that knocks out, and you're leaving the bundle wide open to do whatever. There's the Astral Barrage.
And the thing is, only one of these 2 is going to go down.
Shouldn't knock out either of them, yeah, because there's the Sash on the bundle.
Yeah. And we do see that as a Moonblast from Whimsicott because it didn't go beforehand. Yeah, it is the Iron Crown slot.
Into the Crown, but the Crown takes the hit. Does drop the special attack, so now it's down to, like, neutral. Icy Wind comes through. Does knock out the Whimsicott, as we mentioned, so that's out of the way now. Calyrex gets the speed drop. We'll see how that interacts.
This Tachyon Cutter is going to do a lot.
It is at -1 now, even though it does have the boost, so it's like closer to neutral, and yeah, it's gonna eat that hit.
Still solid.
It's still solid damage, and the speed drop is nice for whenever you do get out of the Tailwind, but
It's an interesting call here.
I mean, at this point, you're down to the last two on Abby's side if you're Lucy, and you still have all four Pokemon. So you might as well play this a little bit slowly. Probably let Calyrex drop here. It's not a whole lot you can do for it.
I think, yeah, you gotta...
Because, I think you protect the Iron Bundle, you keep it around an extra turn. I'm not sure when Tailwind expires, it might be this next turn. Here's the Fake Out. Not going to pick up the Knockout. That's actually very good for Abby, because you do get the +1 out of the Astral Barrage from that.
I think, honestly, +1 is what's really concerning, because you do have Iron Hands. Iron Hands, it doesn't like taking Draining Kisses, especially right now. But on the other hand, you kind of have to bring it in, which isn't great. I think if you could just bring in the Iron Hands Fake Out onto the Incineroar and click another Icy Wind, you're good to go.
Yeah.
Because you need to get this Calyrex slowed one more, or at least stall out the Trick Room. And there's a very good chance that it could go first here, because even at a -1, I believe, if I'm not mistaken,
I think Calyrex still moves first, under Tailwind.
So
but you do have the turn of
so you gotta risk
the
that
Fake Out turn, excuse me.
But after the Tailwind expires, then this is Mirai's to win.
Yeah, I do think so. If you're able to get rid of one of these two and then bring in Mirai, then you probably are fine if you're Lucy.
I think even so, just as long as...
And I wonder at that point whether you can't really let yourself get hit by... Well, no, you can let yourself get hit by Astral Barrage. Yeah, it was going for the double protect on the Iron Bundle. Oh! Calyrex goes for the protect. That's an interesting choice.
There's a Fake Out incoming. Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's Fake Out for the Incineroar, and that just stalls a turn. Do some Rocky Helmet chip back, but that's not a big deal, and that's going to stall out the Tailwind. That should mean Iron Bundle is the fastest thing on the field now.
So the question now becomes, Iron Bundle. So you click Freeze Dry, Icy Wind, or Hydro Pump.
How likely? How much of a chance of missing do you want?
Yeah, honestly, I would probably click Freeze Dry and Drain Punch onto the Incineroar.
I would probably go the same way. I don't know what the exact damage margins are there. We are going to see that Calyrex Terra finally. The Terra Fairy.
Interesting that it is Terra Fairy. I mean,
there's no reason not to at this point.
I mean, he could have for the Incineroar, but just to that way you...
There's the speed drop. We'll see how much Calyrex is able to do here. It does go for the Draining Kiss into the Iron Hands. Does do a lot of damage, but Hands takes the hit, and that's all it really needed to do. Calyrex heals all the way back up. And it goes for the Drain Punch into the Incineroar, takes it out. That's a really good turn for Lucy, I think.
I think Lucy's in a spot that...
Because I think you just start hitting the Calyrex, and worst case scenario, you have to bring your Miraidon in, and yeah, the electricity disappears, but I still think Bundle is faster than Calyrex here.
Yeah, and at this point, you just click the Heavy Slam.
Yeah, you just click your moves, and I think you're fine.
Keep going for Icy Wind.
Yeah, I don't think that's necessary.
I think you could just freeze dry at this point. Yeah.
I agree. I think you want to go for higher damage, but...
Actually, one more Icy Wind will make the Hands Icy, if I'm not mistaken. So
yeah, and that could be nice.
That is...
If that's what this does, then that's good.
Okay, didn't quite.
But it wasn't. And Astral Barrage comes through, and that should pick up both knockouts. Yeah, so now it's down to just the two restricteds, but I think Miraidon has the better end of this.
Absolutely.
Because I think you just click Electro Drift and you win.
I was like, Electro Drift should be able to finish this off here. After -3 in speed, especially. I do think that is a very good piece of information, though, that you run -3 on the Calyrex. Not enough to have hands out speed. It depends on the hand side. If my calcs...
Very careful, and yeah, he's going to cancel that one. So, Lucy going up 1-0. Again, both these players 3-0 right now. I believe the way that the bracket will shake out, the winner will be on the upper side of the bracket, if that makes sense. The 1 to 4 seeds. Loser probably still into Top Cut, but I do think maybe 1, 3, and 2 is going to get shuffled out. We'll have to see actually how that comes through with all the buys, because I think it's going to be weird because of the buys, but I'm not 100% sure.
And I think, if I'm not mistaken, that that there's a good chance we would see these two rematch because they're both right now 3-0.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. They've definitely been the top performers today so far. And
I think the only other 3-0 is Tyler, who saw on stream in the last round.
I believe so, yeah.
Who's currently playing, I think it's Michael, who was our current reigning champion.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah, rematch of that last matchup.
Yeah, it's a much different team because there's a Frostmoth.
Because there's a Frostmoth there. But we'll have to see. This, what do you think Abby needs to change for the second game? I mean, I do think that getting a light screen up would have been pretty meaningful.
Yeah, it would have.
I mean, we know now that Moonblast didn't pick up the KO onto Iron Crown, and so I wonder if you want to play that differently because of that.
I kind of like the idea of bringing in Urshifu, actually, because they're able to at least now threaten the Iron Crown a bit with Surging Strikes. You can also go for Bastion. You put a Dark type next to Calyrex, Fighting type next to Calyrex, and it helps. Whether it's Body Press, and even though Bastion is not a Fighting type, it's basically, essentially, because it is with Body Press. And then you have Close Combat. But why I like the Urshifu specifically is it has more damage output than Bastion. It's faster, but functions better in Tailwind, and it has Focus Sash, so you don't have to really worry about Miraidon knocking you out. But I think I probably would have swapped out the Incineroar for that and kept the 2 lead here.
Yeah, same lead once more for both sides. Except both of them switched sides. It's the Miraidon and the Whimsicott on the left, and the Iron Crown and the Ogerpon on the right.
I think we just see the exact same thing that happened in the first round. I
don't see why not. I don't really see the reasoning why you wouldn't do that. Unless you want to go for like an Electro Drift into the Whimsicott, which could just break through that entire team immediately. Although at the same time, I understand why you wouldn't want to do that.
And there's the Spiky Shield.
Yeah, change things up a little bit. It's going to be the Spiky Shield.
Probably losing Whimsicott here, though. Oh, Light Screen. It's still probably losing Whimsicott here. It is Tachyon Cutter at +1, essentially. But it targets the
Tachyon Cutter is targeted Ogerpon. I like that play by Abby. Definitely a nice play into that. Ooh, and it's a Dazzling Gleam for Lucy. That is interesting, because that will break would have broken a Sturdy for Ogerpon, but Ogerpon's still lingering around there, and I mean, you do know that you're not taking a ton of damage from this duo. Ogerpon's gonna switch out.
Surprised at that, actually, because a Moonblast ID Cutter combo would have removed Miraidon before Miraidon moved.
Yeah, I think so, actually.
I don't...
no, Miraidon still would have gone first. Because Tailwind's not up. Tailwind's up now.
It was Tailwind. Okay, yeah, so that's important. That was a good switch then.
We got the Tachyon Cutter against the Incineroar, which does absolutely nothing.
And with takeout pressure on the field, that is definitely going to help. Dazzling
Gleam again. It's doing good damage to Whimsicott over time, honestly.
I feel like, honestly, that's not a bad play. And then bringing in the hands, obviously, is... I think that's a smart play.
Yeah, this is honestly... worst case scenario, you get hit by Fake Out. It's not the worst thing in the world. And if Iron Hands gets Fake Out, then that's not a problem at all.
Yeah, you kind of want to save your 2 in the back, because these 2 right now, the Mariah and the hands, Miraidon is your restricted. However, it really isn't going to be doing too much in the Calyrex Shadow. You really want to save your Iron Crown for that. Because, a Tachyon Cutter plus an Icy Wind with Iron Bundle is what you want to do. You want to remove the Whimsicott first and foremost, and that Terra to protect against Moonblast was a really good call.
No damage. And Incineroar didn't lock in Fake Out. Do get Whimsicott out of the way now.
Huge. That was, I think, huge for Lucy. Like, you need that Whimsicott gone, because once that Tailwind is gone, now you can click Icy Wind and start sweeping.
It was Fake Out into the Iron Hands, so you do get the Assault Vest out of the way early, which could be pretty nice for Calyrex.
Definitely could be nice for Calyrex. I think here, though, like...
I think you can kind of just keep clicking Dazzling Gleam. I mean, I think the big concern is when your Electric Train runs out, because it is pretty important to have that terrain up.
Maybe a hot take, I would probably switch the Miraidon out into Iron Crown, because Iron Crown, it cannot Terra Dark. I think you're fine to keep Miraidon around for a bit, and then just try to stall out the
I think that's not a bad idea, although I also think that Miraidon's not going to get hit right now. It either won't get hit or won't get hit ridiculously hard, because I think that if it's going to be anything...
Okay, yeah.
I was going to say, I think it might be a Protect, and I think it might be like a Draining Kiss into Iron Hands, something like that. So I didn't think Miraidon was in crazy pressure, and there we go, is that the Dazzling Gleam is going to pick up the knockout. We'll be down to our last 2 on Abby's side for this entire set.
Yeah, I think this is probably the safest play. I was a little surprised not to see the Miraidon swap out, but I think, honestly, it's fine. The Draining Kiss is probably the most important, and now with Ogerpon in the field, you can't do the follow me, but you can prevent against a heavy slam, and so I think that...
I was gonna say, do you just keep clicking the same
I think
move?
You do. I think you just stay in
You
here.
could certainly switch. I don't think it's a big deal if you switch.
If you switch Miraidon to Iron Crown, or... Yeah, the Iron Crown, then it's fine. And then you just go for a Drain Punch into the Ogerpon slot. I think that's smart.
I mean, it's going to be hard for Abby to work her way out of this, and I mean, regardless, it's... Because, yeah, now we get the Iron Crown switch in, because Iron Crown is Scarfed. And I'm pretty sure, even with whatever insanity Calyrex is able to do, if Iron Crown is able to take this hit, which is actually not a guarantee,
no,
it definitely doesn't take that hit.
It's a lot more to the Iron Hands than I was expecting. This now puts
because unless it's Assault Vest.
Yeah, that is a huge play, because this Ivy Cudgel, very much a chance to knock out. It does!
I will say, on the other end of things, I think things are okay for Lucy, because I think Electric Terrain drops now, Light Screen drops, Tailwind drops.
That's what you needed.
Electric Terrain drops. And so now Miraidon and Bundle come in, and I think they should be able to win this.
It is a matter of the Dazzling Gleams at this point. I think you just, yeah, I think...
There's no way that... Because Bundle will be the fastest thing on the field. It will be able to do an Icy Wind. It will make Dazzling Gleam the next fastest thing. Assuming it doesn't miss.
There is one win con besides the miss for Abby, and that is, I think you protect your Calyrex and you swap into Incineroar on that Ogerpon slot. Is
Incineroar still around?
I believe it is, but it's at low, like around half, if I'm not mistaken.
Am I crazy? Did
it go down?
Yeah, no, it dropped the Dazzling Gleam. Yeah, this is the last 2 for both.
Then, I think this Dazzling Gleam is kind of...
Yeah, that was a weird follow me choice.
Yeah.
There's the Icy Wind on both of those. And the Dazzling Gleam. I think Calyrex will be able to take this, but not with a lot of HP remaining. It is a crit onto the Ogerpon. I say that as it may matter well into top cut. There is the Astral Barrage, which will do pretty good damage. It'll knock out the Miraidon, but Iron Bundle should be able to pick up. Should it?
This is... I don't know. I don't know. This is very upset.
And now it's the question of, okay, do you... is it the one, what was it, the Angry Birds thing? Yeah, I know. I don't know if you have to click Hydro Pump right now.
I think Freeze Dry is fine.
Hydro Pump...
Oh, it misses! And that is why you don't click Hydro Pump.
Iron Bundle does roll a 12 and miss Hydro Pump and lose the game.
That is why you don't click Hydro Pump.
1-1. Head into a game number 3.
Lucy played it very well. It was just done in by its own bundle.
Classic Bundle Hydro Pump miss.
You know, with Lucy, I think she's in a still great spot.
I mean, she had a win condition there that was similar to the Game 1 win condition.
Yeah. You just bring the same 4.
So I don't think she's in a terrible spot, but still, being so close to winning the set there and not being able to because of the bundle. Honestly, I think Freeze Dry had to.
I think Freeze Dry KO'd.
It's Iron Bundle.
It was like, what, 30%? I think Freeze Dry was fine.
It's freaking Iron Bundle.
Well,
man.
we're gonna do it again.
Running calcs here.
Yeah, let's check it.
Hold on, I'm running calcs. Bundle. We're gonna call it Booster Energy just for convenience sake. What was the other Pokemon? It's Shadow Rider.
at like 30.
Yeah, Freeze Dart probably KO. It was like a third.
Yeah,
a
I'm
little over
sure
a
that
third.
was a KO. I'm sure that was a KO. Now you have to play a whole other match. And if you're like, if you are like me after pizza time here, you get fatigued right after. Your stomach is full, your brain starts slowing down. And so hopefully both of these players have enough energy to go another round after this too, because I know I couldn't today.
Yeah, no, it's always a grind for some of these, especially at Psycho Turtle when you're playing like 5 rounds of Swiss, and then you get into Top Cut, and you've got like 3 more rounds after that. And
Yeah.
I mean,
it's a lot. It is a lot. But
man, that's the funniest thing that could have possibly happened.
Hydro Pump
The
miss.
Hydro Pump miss.
We're going all over again. Let's do it again.
Yeah. Game number 3. You may not have expected to get it. Look at the Calyrex lead this time. Bit of a switch up here. I like that quite a bit, although I do think that you're opening yourself up to kind of an obvious turn 1 for Lucy.
Yeah.
Which is just hit things with
Just hit big.
Terra Blast.
Yeah. I think honestly, you just click Tachyon Cutter and then you go for an Electric Drift. It's like you Tachyon Cutter the Whimsicott because your choice card, you're faster than your Miraidon. You're probably taking a. That's fair too.
Yeah, I'm concerned about the Terra Blast if it is if it decides to Terra, because then you kind of have to switch out your Crown, and you just lose a ton of momentum if you try to do that.
We are gonna see.
Which this team kind of operates on momentum, so we'll see if this works. If this works, Lucy probably wins turn 1. If Abby has any play against it, then it's probably gonna go to Abby.
Yeah, there is one thing though, which is that Iron Hand switching was very wise, because if the Terra happens, which it does not,
No
then
Terra, Tail went through.
you could have faked out the Calyrex, but Astral Barrage.
Astral Barrage is not going to knock out either of these. It's probably not even going to do a ton of damage. Yeah, no. Not very effective on either. Doesn't do that much. Terra Blast into the Calyrex. That's going to be a knockout.
And with that,
that might be the game. That might be the set.
that might have just done it.
Because not a whole lot of not a whole lot of stuff that's going to win the game behind you there.
Urshifu now coming up.
Urshifu. Urshifu is meaningful, I guess. But the thing is, Fake Out is now available. You can switch a little bit, and you can feel okay about it. I feel like you have to switch out your
I'm not
your guy at this point.
Yeah, I guess an Iron Bundle makes sense because you don't want to take a move class, but
And I mean, if Bundle drops, then Bundle drops.
yeah, it's gonna take 2 hits.
Bundle is the most expendable member of this team at this point, because everything else can just, especially because you get the Fake Out there. It's a crit. You get hit by Moonblast, but wow, that did a lot more damage than I thought it would. Because it was a crit, that's why it did more damage than I thought it would.
There you go.
See, I'm getting better at this. I'm starting to understand what a correct amount of damage is for some of these like level 50s. The
Like evidently a
general area that the damage goes in, like
evidently a free with Hydro Pump, the correct amount of damage is 0.
yeah, that's right. That's for sure.
But this is an interesting spot for Lucy because you do have 2 Pokemon here. Both of them have super effective moves to defeat Urshifu, and they're probably both going to attack the Urshifu. And also probably attacking the Whimsicott because that move left did not KO. And thanks to the Electric Terrain, the Iron Bundle was faster than the Whimsicott. Heavy Slam, and that is a super effective move into the Whimsicott, and down it goes. It is a 4-on-1 in Lucy's favor.
I'm thinking this one's pretty over again. Lucy just had a really good turn 1. I mean, it was, I don't know, it was the obvious move from Abby, and that's why I wondered if she had something else planned there, where it's like, if it was like a Terra onto the Calyrex, and that's a very different turn 1.
And with that, Lucy Parker goes back to Top Cut for the 2nd tournament in a row.
4-0.
4-0. Undefeated.
Undefeated so far.
Unbelievable. Possibly, it's either going to be, either Lucy is the only undefeated person here so far, or she's going to play Tyler in a few moments. But, man, that is that was a match. That was a fun match. This Iron Crown was the MVP there. Basically, turn 1 win for Lucy.
Yeah, the Scarf Iron Crown is a really just weird threat. You just really don't, because just the speed that Miraidon and Iron Crown are able to provide, as well as just the damage. Like, again, that's the thing about this team with the future paradoxes, is that everything gets way more stats than it should have. And so you're dealing with like 6 restricteds at once, stat-wise.
Literally.
As long as Electric Terrain stays up.
Which also, you are able to kind of stack boosts on each other. Like, in this Iron Crown, you're able to get a Choice Scarf, but then you also have the special attack boost.
Yeah.
Then you also, same thing goes for a lot of different things. Like, Iron Hands, you're having an Assault Vest on, but you also get an attack boost. So it's like all these different things that you can function with. It's just a fun team, and it's absolutely working for Lucy.
It really is. We're going to take a quick break. We will be back with round number 5, final round of Swiss, getting to crunch time. Don't go anywhere.